You're listening to The Latino Nerd. Uncut, uncensored, unfiltered. Get dirty and keep it nerdy.
There we go.
Hello again, members of the Nerd Herd, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Latino Nerd. And tonight is a special one. It is dedicated to the memory of Chadwick Boseman, who we lost just last week, very young at the age of 43 to stage 4 cancer. Sorry, already getting choked up. And on tonight's episode, me and my guests are going to talk a little bit about his career as a whole and the impact that he made on our lives as well as so many others. But before I get into that, I need to bring up a little problem, if you will. So you start your car and the maintenance light comes on. Your schedule is already busy and you have that report due tomorrow. Or maybe you just want to relax and enjoy the day off without having to go anywhere. Wouldn't it be nice if someone just came to you and serviced your car? Well, now you can finish those priorities or binge watch The Umbrella Academy and have your car serviced all in the same day when you use Midnight Speed in Town, a mobile repair service that comes to your home or work. They perform oil changes to full service engine replacements on lawnmowers, tractor trailers, equipment, boats, RVs, electric vehicles, and everything in between. They serve New Jersey and the bordering counties of New York and PA and come highly recommended based on Facebook and Google reviews. And I'm going to hook you up. My listeners can save up to 20% on their next appointment when they visit msas.tech or click the link in the description and mention the Latino Nerd in the appointment notes. That's Midnight Speed in Town at msas.tech. And joining me tonight for this roundtable discussion about Mr. Boseman are three very good friends of mine. To the right is stand-up comedian, Marvel master, and Lord of all things D&D, my buddy John Nicoll. How goes it?
It's all right, I guess, for the most part.
Below me here, in this nifty little box, is my fellow Latino nerd, cosplayer, and just all-around badass, Jenn Rodriguez.
Hello, everyone.
And next to her is a dear friend of mine and host of her own podcast, the Mad Mags Nerdcast, which is available on all streaming platforms, Maggie Oz.
Hey.
Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really wish, we could have a happier topic to talk about, but, I really couldn't think of anyone else that I would, want to share in this with me. So thank you all for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we did lose Chadwick just last week to stage 4 cancer. I'm sorry, I'm getting all choked up again because, colon cancer is something that, cancer in general is something that I'm familiar with. In my family, I've lost countless members to it. And it definitely, it always kind of hits home for me when I hear that we've lost another Black artist to cancer because it runs rampant.
Mm-hmm.
And this one hit kind of hard because, Chadwick at this point has already played 4 of my childhood heroes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and this one was kind of rough because it's just, it's crazy. Just less than a year ago, we were all crowded in theaters, watching Endgame. And today it's hit that we don't have the Black Panther anymore.
I don't even want to think about it. That's insane to me that it was just last year, a little over a year ago, that we were in theaters watching Endgame, and he was, I don't know, just thinking about that scene when he comes out, I still get chills thinking about that scene. And so it's insane to just be like, oh, a year later he's gone, and I mean, that's, I don't know, that's just crazy to me. Too crazy.
Let's say you up there, John. You okay?
So my personal experience in general was Black Panther is in my top 5 favorite Marvel characters. He was my 3rd tattoo I got. And I dreamcasted, and to this day, actually, like 2 weeks before his passing, it came back up in my memories where they first announced like something for DC, and I was excited about it, and then I would go, all that would make my whole life complete is Marvel announcing Chadwick Boseman to play Black Panther. And every year I repost it saying I called it, I was right. It's hit me harder than anything because he was so quiet and private about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, I thought it wasn't real. I just was like, not true. This is not true. And even now, it doesn't feel real to me.
Right. I have no words. Like, it doesn't, I don't want it to be real. And you have to like come to grips with it, and it sucks.
Right. I remember
This bad connection was brought to you by.
And we're back. I remember my first like, I don't want to say exposure, but the first time I saw Chadwick, actually, and it's crazy to think that his like acting career wasn't even all that long.
Right.
Oh.
Like, he was like a relative like newcomer. But I remember I used to watch soap operas with my mom all the time. I was probably like the only like male in the hood who was like up to date on all the soap operas, because, you know, like, benefits of having like 5 sisters and they're all into that shit. So Chadwick played, for those of you who don't know, those of you who remember might remember him. He was on All My Children, actually.
What?
He was Reggie Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't watch All My Children. It was all, you know, Sands of the Hourglass for me. But
Oh my God, Sands of the Hourglass.
I was just watching reruns of cartoons, so
Yo, when I tell you, bro, like, my mom, like, we were like such a soap opera household. Like, bro, like, I have a favorite soap opera. Like, that's how deep we were into the shit. I don't know if you guys ever saw Passions.
Yes, Passions was the shit.
See, like, I can do a whole episode myself on Passions, but like, I feel like my mom needs to be here for that. So
I could totally talk about Passions all day. I love Passions.
Passions was my shit. And then I remember him in it was this very short-lived show, but it was really good. It was called Lincoln Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Yeah,
you remember? Yeah,
I was like, "What is?"
He played Nate Ray, and he had served in the war, and he had like really, really bad PTSD.
I didn't even know that was him.
Yes,
Blowing my mind here.
Chadwick was Nate Ray. He also did guest spots on like a few shows, like he did an episode of like CSI.
That's everyone in New York, though.
Yeah,
pretty much every actor in New York has worked for CSI.
That's a fact.
He was on like an episode or 2 of ER.
Which is everybody who's ever acted has to make a spot on ER.
I know, like honestly, like,
it's either ER or House.
Seriously,
House, any crime show or any hospital show.
Yeah, CSI.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be on Law and Order. I didn't care which version of Law and Order. I just wanted to be on an episode of Law and Order. Now my dream is to become a Funko Pop.
Right?
Like, that's now my life goal.
Going out of business.
Sorry about that, Maggie. But yeah, I remember him, like, seeing him on all these shows. And then 42 came out, And at first, they were like, Chadwick Boseman is playing Jackie Robinson. And I was like, who the fuck is Chadwick?
Can we just say that he has the most white people name in the entire world?
Exactly.
That's what somebody said. Somebody said that they were like, how is it that the coolest, blackest man that I know has the whitest name on the planet?
Yeah, and I was like, who the fuck is Chadwick? And then I saw the trailer for 22. And I remember me and my mom going, man, that's Reggie.
Oh my god. Reggie.
Who the fuck is Chadwick?
Chadwick. I don't know Chadwick. That sounds foreign.
I was like, yo. And I remember like, you know, like I couldn't say it out loud because I don't want to get in trouble. And I was like, man, Chadwick, they always try to get white people to do everything. And I looked and I was like, oh shit. Chadwick. Yeah, Reggie. Yeah. Yeah, he dark as fuck. He could be Jack.
Oh my god.
That was when I was first exposed to him, 42. I didn't really watch a lot of soap operas. I was an only child, and thankfully my mom didn't force me to do that. but I'm a huge Jackie Robinson fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited. I'm like, oh wait, there's gonna be a Jackie Robinson movie. Well, another Jackie Robinson movie.
Right.
And I saw the original. When I saw the trailer, I liked him as the actor. I was afraid because I heard Brooklyn We Go Hard, and I'm like, please don't let it be where it takes place in a time period piece, but they're playing modern day music.
Right.
That would have like irked me as a filmmaker.
Oh, bro, they the Tarantino at 42 to fuck up.
I wouldn't be able to handle it. I really wouldn't be able to handle it if like all of a sudden like you have Jay-Z playing in the background.
Get out.
Now I'm like getting an image of like 42 directed by Quentin Tarantino, and it's like Chadwick's playing Jackie Robinson, and you just see fucking Samuel L. Jackson like, you ain't hitting that home run, nigga.
He has a sword instead of a baseball bat.
and he gets revenge on like the Boston Black Sox.
Get out of here.
That one coach that just like he's the final boss.
Yeah, and fucking Branch Rickey is played by Christoph Waltz for reasons no one knows. You're just like, yes, my name is Branch Rickey, and this is my good friend Jackie Robinson, and we are going to play baseball together.
But yeah, I went in there with like high expectations. Only certain movies I have high expectations of, and 42 was one of them. And the second I walked out of that theater, I was like, that guy needs to play Black Panther. He needs to. If they're ever going to make a movie, he needs to be that guy. Because I couldn't see any other actor to do that the way he acted as Jackie Robinson.
Right. I remember actually, I didn't see 42 in theaters only because I really couldn't find anyone who would like go with me. So I was like, fine, I guess I'll wait for it to come out on like
I went by
DVD
myself. I would have went with you.
Yeah, see, you know what? And in hindsight, this is why, like, if I get the chance, I will go to a movie by myself because, like, there's some movies, like, I'm like, yo, there's no way in hell, like, anybody's going to go to see this shit with me. And then I'll go see it and I'll be like, yeah, that was good, but no one was going to watch this shit with me.
I go to the movies by myself all the time.
Like, I traveled all the way to New York because they had a one-night theatrical release of a Serbian film, and I knew there's no way in hell no one was joining me for that shit.
Yeah. It takes a special breed.
Yo.
A very special breed of people. To me, I want to see that film on the big screen.
Yeah, bro.
Surround sound.
So that was a fucking ride for him.
I can only imagine.
It's not, and I'm not even talking about the ride to New York. I'm talking about the movie. Like, it's such a ride.
Listen,
Okay.
I only see Godzilla movies in theaters because of the ride, but that was probably a totally different ride you took
You got 2 rides that night.
that I want no part of.
Okay, to quickly derail from the topic at hand, for those of you who don't know, a Serbian film is actually the title is actually describes it perfectly. It's a Serbian film, and it was made by like a guy who admits that he made
Title
it.
is called a Serbian film.
It's actually called a Serbian film, and the director and the director made it simply because he could.
I mean, that's
Because,
legit.
like,
I
he
give him
like
props, but
the whole point of the movie was to highlight shit that like people were getting away with in Serbia. So he like made the movie just because he could. And Maggie, it is the wildest shit ever.
I'll have to find it. I like wild shit.
Yeah.
I don't think you're describing it well enough.
We'll put it.
Wild shit.
Well, I'll put it like this: I had a living room full of friends over, and all of my friends pretty much have the same taste as me. They like these really extreme, fucking ridiculously gory and like fucked up films. And the second I was like, "Yo, so we up for watching a Serbian film?" Dead ass, everybody got up and left.
So, like, on my scale, it's like Human Centipede is like something I will never watch ever again.
Now Human Centipede ain't shit compared to a Serbian
Yeah, that's
film.
Barney the dinosaur compared to a Serbian.
Yeah.
Because I fuck a
That's
human
child's
centipede.
play. That's like
Human centipede was OP. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, back on track. And
I feel like I have to shower after that.
yo, deadass, after I saw a Serbian film, like I legit always have to like I always like to talk about movies that I've seen after I've seen them. That was the quietest fucking ride home in my life. I sat on the subway train. Like, you ever see that meme of that guy who's just sitting in one spot and he's like, he looks like he's contemplating all of his life choices? That was me the whole train ride home. I'm just like,
I made a mistake.
I regret
Never see the movie.
I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't fucking know. And then I went out and bought it on DVD.
You're a fucking masochist.
Because you want that feeling all the time.
All the time.
And you want the option to put it on other people.
Erica won't even watch it with me. Every time I mention a Serbian film, she goes, no.
I swear, if you ever invite me to your house and you're playing it, I'm walking out. I'm gonna leave my car there and I'll just walk home. I would walk home. I would not even comprehend. It would be, my mind would be just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
And you want to know what's fucked up? I've seen worse shit since a Serbian film. So a Serbian film is like now tame. Because like, yo, I'll watch a Serbian film like 5 times back to back before I ever fucking sit through August Underground again.
That's how you know it's serious.
And August, when you hear the name August Underground, you're like, that probably sounds like some bullshit ass Matthew McConaughey romance drama.
Not gonna front. I thought
Better not be.
What about that?
Nah, bruh. It's like some guy and his like junkie hooker girlfriend torturing motherfuckers for an hour and a half.
Oh, so that sounds like one.
Sounds like a sequel to the Requiem for a Dream.
Oh shit. Yeah. Anyway.
We're derailing. Let's not.
But
Chadwick's just like, what the fuck, guys?
yeah, Chadwick is like, is this how you honor me? Talking about
Is this your thing? Is this your thing?
Is this my tribute?
When we all eventually pass on, we're to walk, all of a sudden he's just going to be there sitting going, really? Really? I remember.
Like,
I remember.
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
What's
I
in
walked past Box Lunch today, and the first thing I saw actually was that like Wakanda jersey, and I was like, bro, I need that now. Like, I need that so hard.
Yeah,
if it makes me feel any better, I get 30% off because I work at Hot Topic, and Hot Topic owns a store.
Fam, that makes me feel a lot better.
I yeah,
I'm gonna have to get with you after
My
this.
goal as a teenager, I was like, I want to work at Hot Topic.
I got hired at Hot Topic literally like a year and some months ago. Mm-hmm.
I worked at Hot Topic when you were like, I worked at Hot Topic when I was like, 17 or 18. That was back when it was still like the darkest fucking store in the mall.
Sorry, my dog is making an appearance.
Hi, puppy. Hello, puppy. Yes. Well, what's the puppy's name?
Her name is Lola. She's a Shih Tzu / Chihuahua. She's 5.
I love it. I'm with it.
And wine.
But yeah. So one thing I found that was like really awesome about Chadwick is that like his ancestors were like fucking like Creole people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like his family comes from like Nigeria and like Sierra Leone, and he had like Yoruba in him, and I was like, bro, like you African American, like for
Like,
real.
The African American. He said Wakanda for real in this house.
Also, I thought
He wanted it to be so accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it was like he knew his roots. So
Right.
like, I also think it's like awesome. Did you guys know that like Felicia Rashad was one of his teachers?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just know the Denzel story where Denzel paid for most of his schooling.
Right.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he said when he did like a award or whatever that there would be no Black Panther without Denzel Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right. I remember that.
Yeah, I think Denzel like was offered to donate money for one of the students that are going to the acting school, and it ended up being Chadwick.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So speaking back, as I mentioned, Chadwick being in All My Children. Here's another fun fact that would come full circle. He got fired from All My Children because he voiced problems with the character. He thought that, which looking back now, Reggie Montgomery was pretty much like every Black stereotype you could think of. So like when he went to the producers and complained about that, they fired him. His replacement as Reggie Montgomery, Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
Bro.
That must have made filming Black Panther a bit awkward.
Can you imagine?
Hey, so now I'm going to stab you now.
Like
first time.
First I took your ABC job. Now I'm taking your throne. This challenge shit is over.
This challenge shit is over.
Can you imagine? Like, I imagine that, like, once Michael B. Jordan got the job, you just see Chadwick outside of ABC Studios. I never yielded.
What's today? It's challenge day. Stop.
Okay, one day I actually have to do my M'Baku impression for you guys. It is fucking wild.
M'Baku's my boy. He's from here. He's from Rochester.
Of course he is. That is wonderful.
Winston Duke is from Rochester. I found that out and I was like, oh boy, of course he did.
I wish I would have been in that room when Michael B. Jordan walks in and just sees Chadwick and goes, oh, hey, man.
Oh,
we played the same person.
What's up?
How you doing?
We cool? We cool?
Listen, money. I needed money.
I was broke.
Like, I needed money.
We good?
We good? It was a nine. We good? We good.
For me, like, I know, like, I became a big Chadwick fan after I saw Get On Up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys know this. Well, you guys probably know this, but to you listeners at home, I am a fucking James Brown stan, bro. Like, when I was a kid, I was horrible at it, but I would try to, like, dance like James Brown. I can't do the shit. My legs don't move that way.
My legs don't move.
Yeah. I can talk like James Brown. but I can't do the dance.
I busted my ass trying to dance like him. So like,
my favorite,
yeah.
one of my favorite Eddie Murphy jokes was he was talking about James Brown, and he goes, "You never understood what the fuck he was talking about, but whatever James was saying, it was some real deep shit to James." Hey James, you okay? I'm wanted to tell you.
The band.
Yeah. What the fuck did he say? I don't know, man. Just keep playing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so they got the guy to play Jackie Robinson. Now he's going to play James Brown. Like, I like Chadwick, but my man can't do everything. And then I saw Get On Up.
And you were wrong.
And my voice said, I'm going to do everything. You said I can't?
Bless, King. Bless.
Literal king.
Wasn't Dan Aykroyd in that movie?
He was.
I thought.
And it was also directed by the Tate Taylor, the guy who did The Help.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another one of my favorite movies. And y'all, if y'all listening out there, 2020, COVID, God, whoever I gotta pray to, leave Octavia Spencer the fuck alone.
Right?
Lord, please
leave her alone.
But then, moving on now to the role we all know and love him for, and that would be T'Challa. Bro, the first time I heard he was being cast as fucking Black Panther, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, no way.
I literally was like, it felt like, to me, it really felt like fantasy football. Like if I did some dumb shit, because I was like, let's motherfucking go. And my family was like, what? I was like, let's motherfucking go. I'm like, damn, Black excellence is beautiful. And then like, what? And then I'm just like, Chadwick Boseman got fucking casted as T'Challa, the Black Panther. And they're like, what? And I'm just like, never mind. You'll see it when you'll see it. It's fine. You'll see it when you'll see it.
You think that's weird? When I found out, for like 2 days, I'm like, I called it.
Oh, no, dude,
I knew it. I remember that.
I called it.
You were like, I fucking knew it.
I called it when Chris Evans got casted for Captain America, because that was my fan. That was like my fan cast.
Oh, see, for me, I'm super picky about Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't seen the first Avenger. I refuse to.
Really?
He doesn't fight Nazis. If he doesn't fight Nazis, I'm not watching it. That's how picky I am.
Fair.
Because when they're like, he fights Hydra, I'm like, Hydra didn't exist till the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
I completely get it. I completely get it, because it's another conversation.
So, but when I found out, I was chanting, I knew it. I was nervous at first because one of my least favorite films, I like all films, my least favorite film was Age of Ultron. And
I mean,
I think to be fair, I think that's everybody's least favorite Marvel film.
That one, and also Thor: Dark World, but we'll get into that in another conversation.
But like for me, I was like, I was hoping, like, I'm like, the one thing I was happy about was he wasn't going to appear in Age of Ultron, mm-hmm. because it was like the writing for Age of Ultron, everyone was written like Tony Stark, and I'm like, if T'Challa casts one one-liner, I'm walking out of the theater and I'm going to punch the nearest person closest to me. Because, like, the one thing I was nervous about was, because I'm a comic reader,
Same.
is T'Challa has a class to him. Like, mm-hmm. he can be funny, but there's like this class to him where he's royalty, and like he acts like it, mm-hmm. but he acts like a regular guy being royalty.
Yeah, he's humble. He's humble in his royalty. Like, he doesn't let it get to his head.
Yeah, he won't joke around about it. But he'll make jokes, but he won't like do a quip one-liner because, he's a king.
Right. No, that's a fact.
Unless if you're Mel Brooks, you're not allowed to do quip one-liners as a king.
And that's another, and at first, I will admit, I had my doubts when Chadwick was cast, not because I thought he would be a bad Black Panther. I knew he'd kill it.
Right.
But at the time, I didn't know Disney's plans for the Black Panther. And I was like, they're going to have him cameo in one or two fucking Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to have him be the token Black superhero of the bunch.
Right.
Aside from Falcon.
But Falcon, yeah, that's another. That is another another conversation because with Falcon.
Shout outs to Anthony Mackie.
Shout out to my boy.
I'm glad Falcon came into his own because I was like, if the Winter Soldier is the direction that they're really going in, I would like to throw out there that Winter Soldier is still my favorite Marvel film.
Yeah, Winter Soldier is the best Marvel film.
That is by far for me. That one and Black Panther, those are my top two.
Yes,
movies. In the whole entire, and obviously, then we go on down the list. But top, Soldier.
Exactly, and then I was worried it was a Gods of Egypt situation.
Oh fuck, dude! Yeah.
Why does everyone hate on that movie?
Mostly because that none of those characters are white.
I know, but shut up.
And no, I get it.
I haven't watched it, but what threw me from now watching that movie was the mere fact that it was essentially a whitewashed.
Right.
Movie.
And even Chadwick Chadwick himself admitted that he only took the job because the cast needed to have at least one Black person.
I like the movie.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah, you can still like the movie. For me, it was just
I don't hate the movie itself. I thought it was a fun ride, but I had to detach myself from. I had to detach myself from that. But religion and race relations and things like that are things I try to avoid. This is probably one of the few episodes where race is the obvious factor here because we're talking about a Black actor. But I try to avoid complaining about any movie that takes place in biblical times because I don't want to alienate anybody. Because let me fucking tell you, if I had my way, I would have recasted the Passion of the Christ.
Yep.
And
Christian's mad, Jordan.
I'm just saying.
Science does not agree with the skin tone of what Jesus looks like right now.
Exactly. First of all, skin of bronze and hair of wool.
What that means?
You know how many bitches in my lifetime told me my hair feels like a sheep?
I'm assuming it's an uncomfortable amount.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to think it was cute, but now it's now if somebody's like, "Oh my God, can I touch your hair?" and I'm like, "You fucking touch me, and you will swallow your fingers."
I mean, I'm saying though, you're not wrong though.
My hair, as disheveled as it is right now, mostly because of the headphones. I love my hair. I am very particular about my hair.
You also reach a certain age where it's I'm a bit too old for you to touch my head.
Facts. You touch my hair. Oh, can I touch my hair? No.
If you get over 30 and people are still trying to touch your hair, I can imagine.
They've been like this since I was a kid.
In a Rona world, don't fucking touch me.
I don't like you in my space. First of all, I never liked you in my space. Now I don't want you in my space.
As far as Gods of Egypt, the movie as it is fine, but I detach myself from the historical aspect of it.
And that's what I had to do is detach it from because I'm obsessed with Egyptian everything. I have it 8 years old, and so I'm just no, that's not how that works.
Exactly. What?
But fiction, great job.
Great job. Man, I guess I'll watch it. But Chadwick.
I mean, there was a reason I got it for $4 on Blu-ray. Let's just be real.
Fair. I don't even remember where I saw Gods of Egypt. I know I didn't pay to see it in theaters. I think one night I was up like late, and it was one of those situations where I couldn't find the remote, and I was like, "Yo, it's like 2 a.m. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. I'm lazy. I ain't looking for shit. I guess we watching Gerard Butler."
I mean,
Gerard Butler didn't even like that movie. Like, he was like, "You watched it? What?"
Yeah.
Steering off the direction of this, I just want to say Chadwick had to be superhuman to have stage 4 and yet be able to manipulate his body to bulk up the way it did, because I'm living with someone who has cancer and it destroys your body. And the fact that he was able to, even personal trainer aside and stuff, the fact that he was able to willpower his way through that is inhuman.
I mean, it speaks to who he is as a person. It speaks to how he had to go. He did it in between, like surgeries and chemo. And like and that alone. And I mean, anyone who's never been around someone who's who has had cancer or passed away, it doesn't matter. But chemo kills everything. Like, it kills everything. And sometimes you look at that person who's getting these chemo, and you don't a lot of times you don't even recognize them, like who they were like yesterday till now. Like, chemo kills you. So the fact that he did this, he did all these movies since he got diagnosed in 2016 till now, it blows my mind of the strength, and even just like how much mental, it really, for me, it's a lot of the mental that he had to do to physically get up every day, to hype himself up and be like, I'm doing this, not just like, I feel like at one point he didn't think about himself. He was really thinking about all the young people and anyone really who was finally really seeing themselves as a major, character plot point in film that we really didn't see before, and especially an influential type of character. So
I think he should be remembered most by his love of the craft, because that was dedication and love to the craft of acting, which has, like, you see that in a few people. It's a rare few people you see that dedication to the craft of acting. And that's like like we were talking before you guys joined us. I compared him to Daniel Day-Lewis, where the way you can't tell the difference. Like, literally, like, you have to look in the face and go, oh wait, that's Chadwick Boseman, because he gets so into the character, he becomes that character.
Exactly.
And the fact, like, when I, like, now looking back and watching Black Panther again, when he has his shirt off and it's all painted and just ripped to hell, I'm like, the amount of pain he must be in physically from even doing that stuff. Like, I can't wait till 15 or 20 years from now when I see the next generation of young Black actors come in and go, thank you, Chadwick Boseman. You inspired me. Your love and dedication to the craft of acting. He brought so much class. Like, and people say comic movies, you don't have to, like, really bring your A game to a comic movie. Like, and sometimes it shows. Sometimes it shows with some certain actors playing certain roles. It shows like they're not bringing their A game. They just view this as an action superhero movie. When I watch Black Panther, he's giving it 110, 120% and treating it as if this is going to win an Oscar, like the way he's acting, the way he's bringing to the table. So I hope to see the next generation of young Black actors go, that's what I want to do. I don't have to play a stereotype of a thug or a criminal. I can actually play someone who has a depth to them, not just a paper cut character of, oh, this is this character and they do this. And I'm excited to see that. And I can't wait to see that. And that's the biggest legacy I think he's going to leave. And I hope that's like the one thing, like when I have kids, I'm going to show my kids like that's what good acting is. Mm-hmm. And he's on my list. He's up there with, for me, my personal favorite actor is Michael Keaton. He's up there with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Right.
For me. Because I like guys who dive into their character who you don't recognize them and you go, this is this character, not the person.
That's great company to be in.
Oh, yeah. Well, Keaton, Batman. Black Panther and Batman?
Right. Crossover.
This is a tough one for me for a bunch of different reasons. I watched cancer take my grandmother. My mother is actually a breast cancer survivor. And every day I look at my mom, and like, honestly, like, my mom is one of the strongest women I know. Like, she fought breast cancer, and it's not to put my mom's business out there, but she went through some rough life. My mom served in the military. She fought breast cancer. She fought drug addiction. And this is all while raising 6 of us by herself. And, I've seen cancer just take the lives of so many people. And if you're listening to this, and before anybody goes into one of those, I think you mean all people thing, Black men, please get a colonoscopy. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get your prostate checked. Do it. I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's gay. Bro, please just stop being prideful about it. We are 2.5 times more likely to die of cancer than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Mental health and any kind of physical health in the Black community is, at an all-time high because of that pride, because of like, oh, you don't need to go get checked. You're fine. That's not how this works.
Yeah, that's not how this works, man. If it can take the Black Panther, bro, it can take anybody. And it just, and I read somewhere, and it made me cry for a solid 30 minutes, because the biggest reason he didn't tell anybody he had cancer is that he was so convinced he was going to beat it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't hit him until a week before he died that, this actually might be it. And I read, someone tweeted their final interview with Chadwick, and they were like, I watched you in Black Panther. He was like, I watched you in Civil War, and then I watched you in Marshall, and then I watched you in Black Panther. So you had to bulk up, slim down, and then bulk back up. Mm-hmm. And he goes, Chadwick just had this very exhausted look in his face. He was just like, yeah, man. And he was like, you've been through the ringer then. And Chadwick was like, brother, you don't even know the half of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, one day I'm going to live to tell my story.
No, I saw that interview, and that I literally started crying because I was just like, he should be here. But, health
is always,
unfortunately, fuck cancer, bro. Like, I just...
Right.
I'm happy we had him for the time we had him. I've been, like I said, I have cancer in my family right now, and we're dealing with it, and it's very hard. But I've also learned to appreciate the time you had instead of it's okay to be sad about it and be upset, because this is the death that hit me the hardest this year. It's the death. No disrespect to Kobe Bryant. Carl Reiner, when Carl Reiner died, I was upset too. No disrespect for anyone else who's passed away this year, but this was just something that he didn't deserve. And for me personally as well, I find the one thing I find very heartwarming is he passed away on Jack Kirby's birthday.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
He passed away on the King's birthday, the guy who created him.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm not a big, huge believer in heaven, hell, religious kind of thing. But in my head, I hope that Chadwick walks into a door, gets greeted by Roz, Jack's wife, with like a sandwich, and goes, "He's been waiting to see you. You're his birthday present. He wants to see you."
Oh my God.
And just have Jack Kirby go, "Sit down next to me," because he always had this big like drawing board where he would draw his an old wooden, bad rickety kitchen chair. And so I could just imagine him say, "Pull up a seat. I want you to look at all the people you've inspired." And them looking into the future and seeing everyone he's going to inspire. And I just picturing that kind of wells me up. But then I see 1,000 pictures of him meeting Stan Lee again, and I'm like, no, it's Jack Kirby. It has to be. I found it something very poetic about him passing away on Jack Kirby's birthday.
Oh yeah.
And
you good over there, Jen?
Oh yeah, I'm always good. I'm an emotional ass person. It's just really sad. Like I don't know. So every time I see a new character, you guys, Jordan knows this, but I love comic books, been as a kid, but Marvel has always been number one in my life for a very, very long time. And so one of the first comics that I picked up was Storm, like, X-Men, but Storm was one of my first like superheroes that I was like in love with, and I still am to this day. And so through her storyline, I got introduced into the Black Panther, and like he's always been a favorite. And so like, I don't know, it's just like John was saying, I don't know, man, Kirby, like the fact that it was just for me, it was no coincidence. Like it was just like, it's sad to say, but it was like something that I guess was just meant to be, to really come full circle. And so it's just
Jack welcoming him home.
Yeah, literally. And it's just and just seeing people's like renditions of like artwork, and just saying, it's like in the movie when he hugged his dad, and it was just
it's you see stuff like that, and especially when it comes down to like just a brief story about Black Panther, the character. When Kirby was helping create or co-creating.
Yeah.
I always say creating by mistake. It's a slip of the tongue.
No, no, because you're right.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to pad myself in case Stan Lee fans come at me. Actually, I hope they do. Jack would show his son, and his son was younger. So he'd bring his son into the room and go, "What do you think of this? And what do you think of this?" And then like he had the decision to like, I'm going to make this guy so strong, he's going to be able to take on all 4 members of the Fantastic Four by himself. And the fact that like, that's like, Kirby was always a revolutionary when it came to comics in general.
Right. But
like when he just did like, you know what, he's going to fight and win against all 4 members to show how strong he actually is. It's for me, it speaks in volumes. And then seeing the movie and seeing the backgrounds, and like, there's only 2 movies that depict a perfect Kirby-like background, and it's Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok. Those are the only 2 movies where you go, this Jack Kirby would draw. Jack Kirby would draw this 1,000%. And it's seeing that representation and seeing how civilized that whole movie is just, it is, for me, honestly, number 1 Marvel film is tied between Winter Soldier and Black Panther. Like, if you tell me I have to watch
that's fair
2 movies for the rest of my life from the Marvel MCU, I would watch those 2.
That's a fact right there.
But in all fairness, I don't consider Endgame a movie. I consider it a giant clip of everything we've always wanted to see.
Wow, thank you.
I love the movie. Yeah. I love the movie, but it's just clips of like, let's give these people what they want.
It was a complete fan service.
And when I tell you, I cried like a baby when Captain America said Avengers Assemble. I bawled.
I was fucking sobbing.
The one thing I've always wanted, because I'm like, he needs to say it. It has to be him who says it. It can't be Captain Marvel. It can't be Iron Man. Captain America has to say it.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Mjolnir scene, it's like all that. And then you seeing Black Panther come back into it. It's just all of that starts welling up. And I wish the fight lasted an hour. They couldn't let that fight last an hour. I would see a 4-hour film with an hour of it being a giant battle.
Look, I started sobbing the second freaking Sam was like on your left. I was like,
right.
I mean, I was sobbing the whole movie, and I was like,
oh, that on your left.
My poor friends. My friend the Kramers, they came with me to come see this movie, and I was just sobbing. And people were like, calm down. And I was like, no, you don't understand, man. You don't get it, okay? And then when T'Challa came out, and I was like, and there was like
and they all start working together, and it's like when even the small things like T'Challa goes, "Hey, Clint," and like kind of throws him something, and it kind of references back to Civil War when he goes, "My name is Clint."
I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah. and like all those little things, Tony Stark hugging Peter Parker.
Oh God!
All of that just
killed me.
All of those that whole thing was just a reference back, like, and also like Ant-Man and Wasp calls him Cap.
Yes, I just. Oh God! So
I gotta tell you, the moment that made me emotional, and it seemed trivial then, but now it's like in Civil War when T'Challa and Steve meet for the first time, and Steve just goes, "Your Highness," and he goes, "Captain," and then they just proceed to just fucking just air each other out.
I know. Oh, so
one of my favorite things is I kind of like to believe this is like comic book lore might mix with the MCU lore, even though we'll never see it. In the in the comic lore, at one of the universes, Cap bumps into T'Chaka.
Oh yeah,
that as Black Panther, and they fight because Cap accidentally leads them into Wakanda.
Yep,
he's not sure where they're going, and they fight. Black Panther wins, but by this much, and they have like a respect for each other because they can take each other on. So he ends up sparing him and kind of like drags him to safety, and that's just like that's respect. And like I've always felt like that kind of respect has always been portrayed by Captain America and Black Panther.
Oh yeah,
like those are two characters that have always had that kind of regal respect, and they'll when they respect someone.
And you can see,
right?
And you can see it in Civil War, and you can see it once, after they meet and everything like that. You can see that respect, that mutual respect that they have for each other, regardless of, whatever. So, like, wow.
And I love the fact in Civil War they didn't make T'Challa irrationally angry.
Yeah.
Like, they did, like, obviously he was looking for Winter Soldier, but once he found out that it wasn't Winter Soldier that killed his father,
right,
he didn't continue to go after him.
Fact.
He went after the guy who planned everything.
Literally.
So, I mean, it's like those little things that they did that made that character so much more, which is awesome.
Right.
And that's why it's like, for me, I'm like, I will rewatch the Black Panther over and over again. I was excited for the sequel. Obviously, I'm upset. I hope they kind of take a while to do the sequel now, and like wait, because I feel like for me personally, even if they were like have Shirai become the Black Panther, I'm cool with that. I think that'd be great. I just want it in a bit longer, because I digest what happened, and I feel like
she needs to digest what's going on. Like she needs a mental break.
It's just all so much, and I think for the fans, she should be Black Panther, and second, they should give it like 2 to 3 years before they make the sequel.
I mean, yeah, when the movie went after it was only a few months after the movie aired in 2018, which sounds crazy that it was only in 2018 that this movie came out, because like just the people are like, oh yeah, this movie came out 1,000 years. I was like, nah, we were literally drenched in what is the excellence of Black Panther in 2018. Literally February of 2018. And I was like, 2018. I went back on my Instagram because I took a picture right after I saw the movie, because I still have my like Black Panther cup that I got at theater. And I was like, February 2018, get out of town. and so I was just like, wow. But I mean, it was only like a few months after the movie came out that they're like, yeah, Black Panther 2 is confirmed. And I was like, we all knew it was gonna happen.
Like, duh.
Now,
now, for me, it was a bit different because I'm a DC guy. So I grew up on DC. Mm-hmm. And my first Black superhero was Virgil Hawkins, who we know is Static.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Steel.
No.
Get out.
God, no.
Hey, don't hate on Shaq.
Static was my first Black superhero, a creation of the late great Dwayne McDuffie. May he continue to rest in peace as well. He also brought us Ben 10. Like, can we give a round of applause to that man? He gave us Ben 10.
We love Ben 10, bro.
And Static
underrated, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And Static was my first Black superhero. I was introduced to Black Panther much later on. My dad had a friend who had like Marvel comics, and I was reading to them, and he goes, "Do you like comic books?" And I was like, "Where's Superman? Where's Batman? Where's Static?" And he was like, "No, this is a Marvel household, guy."
See, am I the only one that's like, I like both? I sway both ways when it comes to
no, I sway both ways for me. Like, again, like I grew up with my cousins. I grew up with Batman, but then like and Superman, and I was like, okay, cool. Like they were fun. Don't get me wrong, but then I forgot. I was over at like another cousin's house, and he had X-Men. He's big X-Men fan, and so that's when I got introduced to Marvel, and I was like, oh. And so from there, like I was definitely. So I've always been both. My favorite, like to this day, my favorite DC character is Martian Manhunter. I think he's amazing.
I have a bunch of comics right now. I bagged and boarded all my comics for the last 6 months. It took me about 3 hours. I have a bunch of comics, and I have a bunch of Martian Manhunter. My personal favorite DC is Impulse.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm an Impulse guy. So, but like for me personally, both of them are my side pieces because IDW has my heart.
Yeah,
I love some IDW.
Now, I like now I'm a fan of both, but I can tell you way more about DC than I ever could Marvel.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can tell you more. Like I can definitely, in a way, tell you more about Marvel than I can DC. So that's why when I love sitting down with Jordan and talking about like, hey Jordan, like quick DC question because I don't know too much about this thing, and so like, and I like hitting him up because he doesn't make me feel stupid because I've been around many of men who have made me feel like, oh, you sure you gotta like I have to like have a fucking certificate. Yeah, gatekeepers have I have to have a fucking certificate, like a fucking PhD in Marvel comics, and I'm like, baby, I do. Do you like?
Like, why are men?
What? Yes, and I'm just like, dude, like, I'm a woman who loves nerdy shit. You mad that I'm in this shit? Like, I mean, I'm gonna just try harder to be more into this shit. Like,
I don't gatekeep. Only except when someone goes, "Oh, Stan Lee did," and I go, "Excuse me, sir."
Correction. That's the thing that gets me. It's like, let's change that.
See, I gatekeep only with Henry Selick because I hate. Prime example being, and I've heard it often. People always go, "The Nightmare Before Christmas is the best movie that Tim Burton has ever directed." And I'm like, first of all, Tim Burton didn't direct shit. That was Henry fucking Selick, who also did James and the Giant Peach and the classic Coraline. Put some respect on my man's name.
Yeah, you can tell his art is the same.
Thank you.
I used to watch like Fat Man on Batman. the Kevin Smith
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
podcast. And when Stan Lee passed away, they did a Stan Lee episode. One thing. Jack Kirby created the Silver Surfer by himself.
Mm-hmm.
That was all him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the Marvel method, Stan Lee would write a brief little blip of what he wants to happen in the story, and Jack Kirby would do the whole story and give it back to him. They had the gall to say, well, you know, people like Jack and Steve Ditko would just have their way with the book, and then Stan would have to come up with these ways to tell the story. And I was like, what?
People really do be shitting on Jack's name because, like, honestly, my boy was literally a fucking, like, genius, okay?
Like, how? Like, for me, my soul, I never wanted to, like, go and find two famous people and smack the heck out of them. That's like, I have a tattoo of Jack. It's
I
going
would
to
have
be
been there, bro.
eventually.
I would have been there. I would have helped you.
Right.
Like, why would you do that to anybody? Jack Kirby single-handedly pretty much saved the Marvel.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for Jack Kirby, Stan Lee would have just been a bad storyteller of, like, horror.
That's
like,
a fact, dude. No, you're correct. Oops.
I would like to add a little disclaimer right here. The thoughts and opinions are those simply of us, no one else's.
Yeah, that's just our opinions, not like, don't feel like y'all can get mad about it. Like, but guess what? That is an opinion. That is an opinion.
Don't worry, I got receipts.
I got the receipts.
If you would like to debate me, I'm very open. You can come at me.
Come at me, bro.
I have watched so many documentaries, and I have the new Jack Kirby biography. It's a comic book.
Oh, you got it?
That's awesome.
Did I get it? I have them tattooed on my arm. Of course I got it.
I don't know. Sometimes you miss out on shit. Like me, I miss out on things because I don't know things are happening until it's too late.
I'll save most of the Jack Kirby stuff for eventually when you invite me to do a Jack Kirby episode.
If you ever.
Oh no, I'm definitely having the three of you back. This has been gold.
But yeah, like for me, it's if there was any person that honored Jack Kirby's true self, it was Chadwick.
Oh,
like, because I mean, that was one perfect casting, which for me bothers me the most because The Thing is supposed to be Jack Kirby, and yet they did not cast The Thing correctly, in my opinion.
You're not wrong.
So, but like the fact that they gave the mere fact that this movie exists, that he existed, and the short amount of time made so many great films his own, that speaks volumes. Because like there are actors who acted for 50, 60 years and they haven't done much to say about it. This man leaves a huge legacy. And just the dent in my heart, and in the film industry alone, like it's a loss, and it sucks. It's just worst.
Even everything he did before, even what he did behind the scenes, speaks of who Chadwick is as a person. Going to all of these hospitals, meeting kids, like you can tell. I think. And one thing that really got me upset was when he had gone live on his IG, and
oh my god! I think I know what you're gonna say.
I know you know exactly what I'm gonna say.
Yep.
That shit pissed me off to this day. I said it. I was just like, how the fuck did y'all? Okay, so he goes on IG and he's going live. It's like in between. Literally, I think it was like I forgot. I think it was after or before Endgame, and so.
It was, Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Jackie. So he goes on live, and you can automatically tell something is wrong. He's gone. That you can tell he's lost a lot of weight. So sometimes one thing's okay. Maybe he's like, it's not great, but like maybe he's doing this for a role. Who knows? We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's not like we see him every day. It's not like I'm like, hey, Chadwick, what's up? Like, that's not who we are. So he gets on IG, he's smiling, he's vibrant and shit like that. But here comes these dummies, and they literally just my boy. They're just making fun of how skinny he looks. And I was just like, are y'all fucking serious? I went on a big ass rant. I was just like, how the fuck are you gonna sit there and fucking make fun of somebody? You don't know what the fuck they're going through at all. We clearly didn't know anything up until literally last week when he passed away. And so I was just like, yo, people say words mean nothing, but words mean everything. Homie, they mean everything. He ended up like ending the live early because all these disgusting ass comments, and people were just going in the media, everything, just everybody was going at him. He was becoming memes, and I'm like, I see y'all. I ain't never gonna forget that, bro. I ain't never gonna forget that, because look at what ended up happening. He passed away, and here we are, and now you're over here saying, oh shit, I should have never done that. But then y'all turn around and do it again. You know what I'm saying? Then you turn around and do it again to the next person. And that's the shit that pisses me off. Like, I was so upset when they were doing that. And I was talking to a few friends, and I was like, did y'all see like what happened on IG? Like, you know, Chadwick went on live. Nobody knew what was going on. And they're over here like making fun of him just because like he looked skinny, and you know how just like sickly he looked. And I'm just like, that's just disgusting. Like, I just can't. I can't fuck with that shit.
I know, like, for me, like, the Black Panther, like, Chadwick being cast, or just the Black Panther hitting film in general was such a huge deal for me, because, like, granted, like, we've had Black superhero movies before. Like, we had Wesley Snipes. Kill it as Blade.
I love the Blade movies.
We had Robert Townsend. Meteor Man is an absolute classic. I love the Meteor Man.
How come you're not bringing up Steel?
Get out of here, John.
I will say this: Steel has a phenomenal soundtrack.
Shit, bro.
That is its redeeming quality. The Steel album is great. That's one of my favorite Mobb Deep songs of all time on it.
I can't with John,
and
bro.
I'm trying to say this with a straight face. God, I fucking hate you.
So serious.
We had Meteor Man, we had Blank Man, we had Spawn, we had, the 3 Blade movies, but like T'Challa, like this was a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there were people coming out in African garb, like they were doing tribal dances before the movie.
That's a fact, bro. We said Wakanda said "Welcome to America" in this bit.
And accurate African dances too. Like they brought it out of us, and people were mad.
Why do we need that's racist having a Black Panther? What if we had a White Panther? That will be considered racist.
Like, all right, first of all, you motherfuckers got Thor. Stop.
But like, all the rest of the superheroes are white, basically.
I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like, can we let someone have something? Let someone have something else.
Oh, people were mad. I mean, it even solidified the fact that when like they won Oscars for like for best costuming, and like people were mad. They're like, that's not. They were like, oh, the Black Panther wasn't that good of a movie. It was alright. And I was like, look, let's not. Don't stay mad. Stay mad. Stay in your house and stay mad. You know, be mad and be humble. Shut up.
we get it. We're mad the Dark Knight was passed over for Best Picture too. But y'all not about to sit here and act like Black Panther didn't deserve that Best Picture nomination.
It was a weird time for those kind of gatekeepers, because 2 best superhero movies around that, like not that time, but in general, were Wonder Woman and Black Panther. So their heads were probably about to explode.
And they were like,
as a diehard Wonder Woman fan, I also think Wonder Woman should have gotten the Best Picture nominee.
I thought Wonder Woman was an amazing. Those 2 movies, I love them. I love them.
We really were served peak excellence.
We were like, we came out in droves. Like, honestly, and it's not like, and I'm not even trying to be like that. Like, I hadn't seen so many Black people together in a movie theater since like the original Fabian was open in Patterson.
Yo,
Like, it was such a beautiful thing. Like, we were doing African tribal dances. Motherfuckers were bringing trays of food. Like, we treated this shit like a family reunion.
Yo, you used to see black people walking down the streets, and you'll be like, "Wakanda forever." I'm like, "Yeah, Wakanda forever, my guy." Like, what's good?
To me, I realized like this was a thing because like growing up, whenever like I played with other kids, whenever we pretended to be superheroes, everybody was pretending to be like Wolverine, Cyclops. I would pretend to be Static, and until the Static Shock series happened, no one knew what I was talking about. Mm-hmm. And now you see, and now like coming now, you see all these kids, and like they all want to be the Black Panther.
Right. They have people
like,
they have characters.
That is beautiful to me.
I actually one of my really close friends I made through work. He has 2 kids, beautiful kids, great kids. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get him a comic book. I got them Miles Morales because they like Spider-Man. And I told him, I sat down and I told him, like, look, they need someone who looks like them doing this stuff.
My daughter, God bless her, her favorite superhero is Miles Morales. And that is, and as a DC fan, I want to be like, bruh.
How dare you?
Like, but as a fan of comics in general, and as a Black man, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Mm-hmm. It's like, baby, Miles Morales is you. You're literally Miles Morales.
Literally, we are Miles Morales, and like and it's so to the point that like now, granted, she can name spider people.
Yes.
Like when we went to Comic-Con, like, and Haley was 5 at the time. We went to Comic-Con. She could actually differentiate the spider people. She knew the difference between Miles and Peter and Gwen and who's the other one? Spider-Man 2099.
Whatever, blanking on this name.
I didn't know there was going to be a pop quiz.
For some strange reason, I want to say like Grant something.
I forgot.
He also has a very Latino-ish name.
Yeah, and Spider-Punk, when people got up in arms because they didn't know Spider-Punk was a Black British dude, and they were all like, what? No, he's not.
Miguel O'Hara.
They were like, no, he's not. And I'm like, yes, he is.
Like a very Hispanic and Irish name.
Literally.
Yeah, but like Haley knew who Miguel O'Hara was. I had nothing to do with that.
And you were just like, wow, I'm so proud of you.
And like she walked by and there were a group of spider people together. And Haley walked by and she goes, like, they were all together in a group photo. And Haley walked by and she goes, hi, Miles. Hi, Peter. Hi, Gwen. And one of the guys turned to her, he goes, holy crap, that kid knows who we are. Like they played along with it. So, like just so on point. And like my kid, again, her favorite superhero is Miles Morales. Like there are so many other like, and I don't want to say because I tell my kid she can like whatever she like. Some kid in daycare told her she couldn't like Ninja Turtles because she was a girl, and I told her she should take a pair of nunchucks and show her what she learned from Michelangelo.
Period.
But it's beautiful. Yeah, like I see like so many Black kids now doing the Wakanda salute, and there's so many T'Challas for Halloween now.
It was beautiful.
And like, I love it. And like people look at it's the same thing when Into the Spider-Verse came out. Like these kids were so shocked that like Spider-Man was one of us.
Mm-hmm.
They had been so used to being force-fed Peter Parker for 60 years. And I mean, he is OG Spider-Man, so it's only right.
It doesn't change anything. That's the thing. I like for me personally, like there's only a few things that I will be like, and that's more because of the reasons why they were done in the first place. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like seeing anyone other than Steve Rogers as Captain America because he was a direct response to Adolf Hitler. He was the perfect Aryan, which is why they made him the perfect Aryan to fight against Adolf Hitler.
Right.
I like, for me personally, I also prefer when they made the Falcon Captain America after he appeared in Winter Soldier. That bothered me because I'd rather have a Falcon series because I like the Falcon.
Right.
Okay.
And I always feel like you shouldn't just give another superhero that already has a superhero name a different superhero name. That's my personal belief. But like, I also see great things like Dr. Fate, that Dr. Fate run. I forgot the kid's name, but you know which one I'm talking about, right? The Egyptian kid.
Yeah.
I thought that was phenomenal and fantastic. Like, I think it's okay to have multiple universes do multiple different things. Yeah. Even though I do have a problem with Ultimate Nick Fury because he's kind of lazy and all he does is talk.
Yeah. We'll get to another conversation for another day.
And to all my people out there listening, you guys were right to celebrate the Black Panther movie the way you did.
Because when we said Wakanda forever, we said that shit forever.
Bro. And don't even get me started on the Black Panther album. Like, God damn. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on that album.
Just fucking kiss, bro.
Just to add to the Chadwick stuff real quick. I think he brought out better acting from the people he acted with.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yes.
Absolutely. No offense to anyone else, like no offense to Michael B. Jordan, but I feel like them together, I feel like he wanted people to like elevate themselves, and I think he kind of had that obligation to elevate himself. Where like everyone, like you got to bring your A game because you know Chadwick is going to outact everybody, and you have to be on par with him because then you look stupid or you look lazy if you're on screen with him. And he's being passionate and so into the role, and you are just going through the motions, they'll tell. Mm-hmm. So I feel like he caused other people to be better actors.
And I think that's one of the reasons. I think that's one of the reasons why that movie ended up being as great as it was, because everyone in that, from the writing to production, I think every step of the way, including right down to the acting, everybody gave it over 100%. They went down. They said, if this movie is gonna flop, we better flop in the hottest way we could. And they said, we're gonna do this 1,000%, and that's what they did. And honestly, to this day, like, they gave us literally peak Black excellence from beginning to end in this fucking movie.
And like what? Yeah, exactly. And while I didn't think the movie was going to flop, if you had told me that right up until Endgame, we would have had the highest grossing Marvel movie in existence.
Period. I would have said you were lying.
What the fuck? I couldn't have pictured that. I couldn't have pictured that in my greatest dream. Mm-hmm. Like, that felt good. Black people went from playing the stereotypical character to not having a voice in Hollywood to very briefly having the highest grossing film of all time.
Right. Period.
And I think a lot of that weight, like everyone carried their own weight, but I think the true leader was Chadwick. Throughout the entire thing. He was a leader. He was a teacher, so obviously he knew how to guide people. I think he could probably have acted with a paper bag, and that paper bag could have been close to winning an Oscar for Best Supporting.
That's a fact. That would have been the Black Panther suit right then and there. I don't care. Imagine everybody walking at Comic-Con with a paper bag. I'm sorry, Chadwick, honestly, but
it's funny. It's funny you say that, because I've used a similar term with I've said the same thing about, like, on the spectrum of wrestling. Like, I often say that about Kofi Kingston. I'm like, that man could sit in the ring and wrestle a broomstick for 25 minutes, and it'll be the best fucking match you'll see that entire night.
But the broomstick would probably go over.
Exactly, and the broom would get over.
Yeah, because that's how they write that stuff.
But yeah, it just, like, bro, even 21 Bridges. Like, 21 Bridges in the trailer looked like such like a run-of-the-mill drama.
Oh, yeah. I was like... Oh.
Bro, Chadwick ain't have to go that hard for a cop movie.
He said for the culture, he said, I'll do it.
Why do you always doubt Chadwick? That's my question.
It's not
doubting Chadwick. It's doubting the writers and doubting the writers.
People behind the movie. I don't doubt Chadwick for a second. But
I know, but you should learn to trust him. He knows how to pick his movies.
I mean, you're
I do, and I trust him very much. But
I don't trust the writers.
we've also seen great black actors get destroyed by a shitty team behind them. I mean, I ain't saying no names. Will Smith. I don't care. I love him, but Will Smith did dirty with After Earth.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think now he views it more as a paycheck. I honestly think
that's fair. But
the last time he had fun in a role was he was Deadshot. I think that was the last time he actually had fun in a role.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me that he's not coming back for the second one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's not.
I think he might be done with acting a little bit. I think he might.
Is he sticking to Snapchat? Is that what he's doing?
Hey,
look, after that entanglement,
paying him like this much money to like do minimal effort. So I can only imagine
that entanglement really. But hey, if he's getting his money either way, so big props.
Before I, but yeah, I mean, what Chadwick brought to just like not only the big screen, but people's lives in general in such a short time. Like, it's crazy to me that we only had him for about a decade.
Right.
Super less than I feel.
And what a decade it was.
He gave us a role after role after role, and it was every role was something. It wasn't an anti-hero. Like, it was somebody that we all either grew up listening about. It was exactly all of his roles, whether it might be something that it could have been like the most obscure type of role. He made it big because of his acting. You know, like John has said earlier, you forgot that was Chadwick. He was that character. He was that person he portrayed. And so it's like
the Muhammad Ali of acting. He's Muhammad Ali.
My boy said, I'm gonna leave an imprint, and he did it in such a short time that it's just like
he roped the dope.
Yeah,
he definitely roped I don't think there was one role where he seemed like he half-assed it, which is so great because he could have
everything.
He could have just taken a paycheck. A lot of actors do. A lot of big actors do. But I feel like whenever he took a role, he dived into it and examined it as an actor. And I hope for years to come, actors that maybe I'll work with one day when I direct again, take that mindset. Because if every actor had that mindset, imagine how many great movies would be made, and all the crap movies would just have bad actors in them.
Agreed. And before I wrap this up, I promised someone I was going to do this. I have some friends, and we always talk about Chadwick's appearance on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Where we had the Black Panther on, Black Jeopardy. And they always get me to do this. And I promised them I would do it on the podcast. And I promised them I would do it on the podcast. And so for a lot of you guys, you'll be hearing this for the first time. But here goes. I am ready. Let's go to white people for 400. Okay, let's try it. Your friend Karen brings her potato salad to your cookout. Oh, T'Challa. I think I am getting the hang of this. Before I answer, a few questions. This woman, Karen, she's Caucasian, eh? Yes. And she has her own recipe for potato salad, right? Yeah. Ah, I understand. It is noble that she would volunteer to cook for everyone. And although I have never had potato salad, I sense that this white woman does not season her food. And if she does, it is only with a tiny bit of salt, no paprika. And she will probably add something unnecessary, like raisins. So something tells me that I should say, hell nah, Karen. Keep your bland-ass potato salad to yourself.
Yes, that was my favorite. Oh, God. When he said that shit, never. Bitch, I was wheezing. When I said I was wheezing, I was literally wheezing. So good. He really had to go that hard, bro.
I woke up, because I when I'm awake, I like to actually watch Saturday Night Live, like live. I woke up Erica because she thought I was having an asthma attack because I'm on the couch, like gasping for air from laughing so hard. And I was like, I can't believe that just happened on live TV.
The Black Jeopardy moments in all of SNL are always like the best thing about it. Like, it's Chadwick Boseman's appearance and then Tom Hanks' appearance.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
I still like the Eddie Murphy one.
The which one?
Like Eddie Murphy.
Oh my god, yeah. The Eddie Murphy one was so funny. Oh god. Tom Hanks one, America's grandfather. What a real one. I catch myself saying no thanks, Tom Hanks, a lot lately. No thanks, Tom Hanks. And my friends are like, what? And I was like, if you don't know, you don't know. Period.
Yeah, that I just one night we got drunk and we were all talking about it, and out of nowhere I just started doing it. And I still don't know how I memorized the whole thing, but
because it's funny.
Because it's iconic. It's literally an iconic ass moment. Because honestly, if for me, once that happened, I was just like, that is a headcanon for me. I don't care what anybody else says. This happened. They said, Jeopardy was like, let's send this after Wakanda opened its gates to the world. They said, let's go reach T'Challa. Let's go King T'Challa, and we're going to ask him to come to Jeopardy with everyone. And then you see the Dora Milaje in the background standing there like, what the fuck? And they're trying not to laugh after he said that. I see it all. Like, I've been wanting, like, I don't know. It's just so funny. And now you see Shuri, and like, I can already picture it all. Like, Shuri just like... Shuri also. Let's talk about her for a second because she was iconic. When she said, I called them sneakers. Get it? Get out of here. I love Shuri so fucking much, and I can't wait to cosplay her, bro, because like
I called them sneakers.
And then when she was like, what are those? I love her so fucking much. Like, everybody like, a lot of people are shitting on Shuri, and I was just like, nah, you better put some more fucking respect on my girl.
But
hell no, Karen.
and now, like, when I'm at work, and we get one of those customers and they start like complaining and bitching, and I'm standing behind the computer and I hear them and I'm like, oh hell no, get it.
Honestly though, like I've caught myself. I've just caught myself thinking a lot about Chadwick and everything, and I try not to cry because I cry. I've cried a lot about it, and I think this is one of those. I don't cry a lot for a lot of actors that have passed away. Mm-hmm. But I think as an adult, like, again, like John has said earlier, no offense to Kobe Bryant, I just, T'Challa. Chadwick's death, like, hit, but you know what? Like, he left behind so many good memories of everything and for me, I think that all the smiles that I shared because of his roles is what sticks harder for me and makes me cry and laugh at the same time because they're good memories.
I've been thinking a lot about like his smile, how like when he smiled, it's just so genuine.
Yeah.
It was never fake. It was always genuine. It's like he wanted to be everyone's friend almost. And it sucks because I feel like for him, he's a private person. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he wanted to share that. And he might have not, knowing how he probably is, he probably didn't want those young kids to go, oh no, he's sick, he's going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So he hid it from everyone so he can, just so people can think that he's okay. And that's a new kind of level of like a hero.
Right.
Right.
For a lot, since his death, I've seen, so one of my favorite artists, she's very kind. Her name is Erin. So she drew Chadwick, both his, him as T'Challa but she drew him recently as an e-thing, as like an e-print. And the e-print, she's donating the money towards those prints to go towards colon cancer research. And I saw that picture and I literally started sobbing. I was like, Erin, why are you so nice? And so I just because it's just it depicts a smile. It's literally just, let me see if I can pick it up real quick and so you can see it.
Also, real quick, if there's any artist that want to draw Jack Kirby with Chadwick Boseman, please, I need some of that.
Please. Oh, that's amazing.
That's great.
And and then in the bottom it says, all the stars are closer, and
no.
So.
But yeah, if any other artist can draw Chadwick meeting Jack Kirby, I would love you forever.
Honestly, you know what? I'm not gonna front. I was thinking about commissioning Erin so she can do it. So if she can do something like that, because I love her art style. Not everybody, every different art style hits people different, but I love her art style, and I know she would definitely not be opposed to do it. Right. If she so if I commission her and whatnot, I will honestly, I will literally buy it, John, just to give it to you.
Thank you. and the cool thing, I just picture birthday streamers, happy birthday Jack Kirby, and he's like, come on, we're gonna have some cake.
Oh my God, yes, honestly, yeah.
And knowing Jack Kirby, how I feel like I know him, because I look up to him as my king of all kings for me. I know Jack Kirby would immediately walk up to him and go, "My king, how are you doing?" He would not refer to him as anything less.
Anything less, because that's how. Yeah, that's.
You okay down there, Maggie?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You good? Okay.
We out here. This is emotional. As much as we laugh, it was an emotional. We have to we countered our emotions with laughter, because that's just the best way to do it. Because.
And it's what he would have wanted,
Yeah.
You know that phrase, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened."
Yeah.
That's the best way to sum this up. He loved his job and his fans so much that when most people with a diagnosis, that when most people have already just admitted the worst, he was like, no, I'm going to continue to do what I do. Because hearing that he prayed to get the role as the Black Panther, because that was his ultimate role, and it showed. And I think that was what he wanted. He wanted you guys to see I'm living my dream. This is all I've ever wanted to do. And if I'm to leave you guys with this, then consider this my parting gift. And what a gift it was.
Sure was.
And I think I'm gonna wrap it up here before I end up crying for the rest of the night.
I'm just stop fucking crying.
Have that conversation that happens before you cry.
Yeah.
That right. That's going on.
I thank you guys for joining me, and we have to do this again soon, but on a much lighter topic.
So, Stan Lee fans?
What?
What's up?
To really piss off Stan Lee fans next time?
Yes,
I'll do it.
Let's piss off everybody.
At this point, we're gonna piss off the whole everyone as a whole. Let's be fucking real. There are certain things. I went to the exhibit, the Marvel exhibit in Philly at the Ben Franklin Institute. And there were certain things I'm like, I was just I gave a little side-eyed, and I was just like, wow.
I was so upset when I found out they had Jack Kirby's desk and chair over in Florida at Disney World, and I'm like, I can't go to Disney World, but they have his chair. I think if I saw it I would cry my eyes out.
Oh, dude, I was crying the whole exhibit. Okay, so like, if I was crying during this whole Marvel exhibit, I cried. I was dressed as America Chavez, and like everybody has their qualms about America, but I fucking love America Chavez. And I turned around and I saw Captain Marvel, and I saw Kamala Khan and their fucking statues, and I started bawling, and I was just literally crying the whole entire exhibit. Everything when it came to Stan Lee stuff with Jack Kirby, I was just like, I was literal tears.
Speaking of Kamala Khan, I think my next episode I'm just going to gush about the Avengers game.
Can I join?
Having done it because I don't like the way Captain America looks. It bothers me. That's how intense of a person I am. I'm always like, he looks so ridiculous. I can't.
That's fair, but I can tell you, I had zero expectation of the game, like at all.
Okay, so yeah, it's good when you have no expectation.
I had my separate expectations, but overall, I was cautiously optimistic.
Could we admit that Captain America looked booty?
Wait, what?
Could we admit that he looked garbage? Like
I will say he's come a long way since that first trailer.
Yeah.
I see the picture of the cover and I'm like, it's way too much padding.
I like the padding. I like the padding. It's, again, all of their outfits are very, very tactical looking.
Unless if there's an option to switch to like there's different costumes.
I think eventually you will. Eventually there will be what happened because it's the same thing with the Iron Man one because you have the original.
Then I will get that. Then I would get it after they announce that because then I would just have Captain America in his traditional wear where he's not looking like a football player.
Well, at least at least he's not wearing his fucking like PJ onesie.
And the day Chadwick died, Square Enix announced that Black Panther is coming to the game.
I know. I said
he is coming to the game. So that I believe that is Chadwick's final parting gift to us.
Hell yeah, it is. Fuck yeah. And you know what? I'm fucking here for it. I love it. Thank you, Square Enix, because honestly, like
but to everybody out there and to my man Chad, if you can hear this, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for giving us hope in like the absolute darkest of not only, our lives, but yours.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you because now little black kids have somebody that they can look up to. And now everybody wants to be the Black Panther. Thank you for giving us your all when it literally took all you had.
Mm-hmm.
And say hi to Jack for us, please.
Please.
Say hi to Jack for us.
And Stan, but Stan's secondary. Jack
Thank you. We love you 3000. Wakanda forever. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Blatino Nerd. And